Hello and welcome to the first video of the Futures Journal. This is a brand new channel. It's the 6th of February 2026. I don't know why it's taken me this long to do this, even for my own benefit, to have a journal of my own trades. I've always kept videos from time to time, but I always plan to make it more structured. As in to create videos every day, and why not create a channel? I've been trading over 10 years. I used to trade equities, forex, and finally landed at futures. It's a much more liquid market. You can get a lot better fills, and I refined my focus down to one market, which is the Nasdaq. And that's where I'm at. I plan to upload videos every day. I am based in Dublin in Ireland, so I will be able to trade the London session, which is going to be a key focus for mine. There's a lot of content creators already on YouTube doing live sessions and recap sessions for New York. I'm going to do that as well, but I'd like to tap into kind of my EU counterparts or people that are based over in my similar time zones. It doesn't at the moment. There doesn't seem to be too many YouTube channels or live traders focused on the London session. So that's kind of hopefully the value I'll bring. This is not again a signal service. It's going to be recaps at the start, and then down the line, I do plan to do live trading once my personal circumstances at home allow that. Kids, school runs, etc. So, but anyway, here it is. First video. I'll stop rambling. It's the 6th of February 2026. And this is the Nasdaq. So this is the exact same process that I take for every trade. I always start on the daily time frame just to see what happened yesterday. And I move to the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15-minute. They're kind of what I consider my higher time frames. And then I'll look at the lower time frames for execution. So I have two kind of windows or two screens that I look at. One is the higher time frame that I frame everything off, and then I'm looking at kind of confluences between the 5 minute, the 3 minute, the 2 minute, and the 1 minute for execution. So with that said, none of the concepts here I'm going to talk about are new. They're all available online. I've been aware of many of them for years, probably even before many of the main trading channels were established. I was aware of ICT concepts, smart money concepts. I've actually been in this game a long time. I've just never been on YouTube doing it. I've just kind of kept to myself. So you'll see all these concepts are very, my main two concepts in trading are liquidity and imbalances, or fair value gaps, if you want to call them that. So let's just get into it, and you'll see if you start to look at these videos over and over, it's the exact same process. And that's what I'm trying to discuss in these channels, is about processes like consistency, discipline, and then execution. And this is where like risk management, etc. So you'll see if you can master all those things, that's all you need. So a strategy, I can teach a strategy to anybody in a couple of days, but it's how you execute on that strategy over and over and time again that will lead you to be a profitable long-term trader. With that said, let's get into it. Daily chart, bearish days, last few days. Now, bearing in mind, this is today, so we're actually seeing this candle be green, but like when I got to my charts at 9 a.m, and when I say 9 a.m, all my time is going to be in GMT. So same time as London, but I'm based in Dublin. First thing I'm going to do, put up my chart, is this swing low, this line. We didn't take it yesterday, and that's all I really took from the daily time frame. And I saw, we obviously swept these lows the previous day, and then down in here in lower time frames, in like the 1 hour, there was a couple of swing lows that were all taken out. So let's just go to the 4 hour, and I'm going to put this in replay and start to talk about the day. So this is what it looked like. This is the 11 o'clock to 3 a.m. candle. and it was a bullish candle. So perhaps, so when I got to my charts this morning, I think this candle would have been printed as well. That's the 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. So yeah, I got to my chart at 9 a.m. But what we're seeing here is bullish intention. Like, we got green candles. But where could it be going? Like, overall, I still think we're quite bearish. And maybe we do go and take this low over here that I plotted out from the daily. But we could, in the meantime, come up into premium pricing and then go down. And with that said, let's look at and zoom in on the 4 hour, and we can see that we have this 4 hour bearish fair value gap here. So maybe that's an area that we're going to target. So I annotate my bearish fair value gaps red, and you'll see the time, and then my bullish ones will be green. So we could at least target, so if you look at this leg, this is kind of the last leg down, we could at least target up into above the 50% retracement, back up into premium. So again, nothing solid yet, but that's what the 4 hour is telling me that we may do. So it gets a bit clearer now when we see Asia's here. So when I get to trade in London, Asia's obviously already occurred. And a very important thing to note here is that we're down on the 1 hour, by the way. We had a 1 hour bearish fair value gap that was inversed. So it's a 1 hour red fair value gap. And you can see that this green candle at 5 a.m. broke above it. So this is telling me that the market wants to move up, at least in the short to medium term. And we've also noted that we've put in a bullish 1 hour fair value gap or imbalance. And then actually another smaller one here, which I'll draw in as well in a second. It's more the inversion of this bearish one. Once we have that and we can see that this has been respected, we'll move on. So that's from 6 to 7. I'm going to move this forward 7 to 8. And you can see again here, so let's do that. This 1 hour smaller one is even being respected. So we're seeing bullish imbalances being respected and bearish being disrespected. So this is all bullish price action to me. 15-minute, things again become a bit clearer. So we're still on our higher time frames here. So this is the analysis I did this morning. Just want to make sure what time we're at here. So this is 7:45. I'm going to move it forward. So I have London open set at 8, but that's more like Frankfurt. But I just wanted, I don't trade before 9 o'clock most of the time. So this is 8:45 to 9. Okay, so this is where I was at. Let's look at what we see on the 15-minute. Again, we see this big push up, a retracement down. So again, if you did your fib on this leg, it's a retracement down into discount. Into a 15-minute imbalance here that we respect. I'm going to delete that. I don't want to keep my charts too busy. And take off that. And then we pushed up and we inversed this 15-minute. We come down. This is again the 1 hour that we printed. And then we also have this, obviously, this large 15-minute bullish imbalance. 15-minute green. And then here is kind of the kind of last nail in the coffin, if you will, for the bears, is that this bearish fair value gap that was put in here was then again disrespected. 15-minute red. So we're having 1 hour bearish fair value gaps being disrespected and 15-minute, and then the 15-minute bullish fair value gaps holding. So this is when we go down. I go down into lower time frames, and I'm just going to delete everything off the charts just to keep it all clear. So we're aware of all that kind of narrative. Now, this is where maybe in future videos I'll show all the screens simultaneously, all the lower time frames. But this is a 5-minute fair value gap. If we get into the 3-minute, you'll see there's one in there as well. And then the 2-minute kind of has two. So I'll just draw that in here so you see it. That's the 5 min, and then there's 2 consecutive imbalances there. I use fair value gap and imbalance, intertwine those words a lot. And then the 1 minute. Okay, so let's just play this forward. And what I wanted to see was these fair value gaps being respected, and then to see something very bullish happen. And as you can see here, we've had this long wick down at 901. We sweep all these lows. Now I just want to go to, yeah, and this is a strong pin bar. Let's just play price forward for a second. Okay, so now we've tapped down lower. I just want to see if we're going to tap this lower 2 minute, and that's what I was waiting for. See, again, price to come down into the discount of this leg. So again, if we were to use a fib, I don't always draw the fib on. I am monitoring that, but like you can see, we came down, and then I'll just turn off the sessions for a second, and you can see that this wick came down and tapped into this fair value gap and this, and then closed above. So that there for me, and then on the 1 minute, that is a really strong. It swept these lows, strong bullish close, and then in for an entry long. I might have actually got a delayed entry on that. I might have got in up here, but that's really the framing of the trade. And obviously you can scale out along the way, maybe go break even when we take this high. But that's it. And then ultimately target the 15 minute, the 50% retracement of the whole recent 4 hour bearish leg. So I don't know how, it depends on the audience here, but this might seem a bit convoluted or complex. It's really not. The more you, like, it's like anything when you flex a muscle. I'm going to try to keep these videos, this is my first intro video. I'm kind of talking a lot, but I'm going to try and reduce the time on these. But you can see ultimately we came up and tapped that 50%. I did take this trade. I got out early. You can see that's my entry there. That's that pin bar. This is my account. I have multiple funded accounts. And I got out there, left a lot on the table, but I was happy with my just taking the green. It's Friday. I've had a good week, and I myself am developing as a trader and learning to hold. But I only took a small position on this, so I couldn't even scale out. I had to close the full thing then because I only had one contract per account. But that's it. I might merge this with a video in New York. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to put this up and just call it like a London session. And I'll do separate videos for each session. So there you go. I hope I maintain this and maintain the channel. And if you have any questions, post them below and I'll try and get back to you. Thank you.